Dad, will you give me a pivoting example, please?
Hey, what's up, guys? Back in action.
Back in action here. And today we're checking out this trail. And the first thing I noticed when we come up to it is that the whole tongue is bent over. I would call it like this would be straight if that was the center. So it's like 2 inches bent over. Plan is to turn it into a little toy hauler, so ATVs, lawnmowers, things that I don't want to use my car trailer for. And it's going to be under 3,000 pounds, so I don't have to pay registration on it, lifetime registration, never have to worry about it, don't need license plates. Psh, awesome, right? Looks like it might be even a tilting deck when we were checking this out. And it looks like just these 2 bolts hold the tongue to this. So if we take out the front bolt, I believe the whole thing would tilt. I don't know exactly. I've never done bolt trailer stuff, but I think that's how it works. I'm going to start off today by opening up all this space on the tongue. I think I'll probably end up putting the winch back on at some point. It would be nice to have a winch on the front of the trailer just in case. Couple of them broke. Okay. We just about have all the attachments off the trailer. We built a plan for the trailer. I spoke with my neighbor who does metal work professionally. We're gonna end up making this structure. So a 12-foot length. These are going to be a 1 3/4 inch pipe. They're 14 gauge. And then going across the front and the rear, it's going to be that same pipe, 6 foot, and that's going to be put on the inside. And then we're going to have one extra 12-foot pipe of this 1 3/4, so we're going to put that in the center to support the cross riggers. And the cross riggers are what the deck boards are going to lay on. And the cross riggers are going to be 6 feet again because it's inside width. And they're a 1 inch by 1 inch pipe. And those are only 16 gauge, so they're a little bit thinner. So that extra 12-foot 1 3/4 down going down the center is going to help support, keep that weight up in the center. Now we have a rectangular frame. It's not exactly where it's going to be. We are going to slide it back. Okay, so Father and I have come up with a new plan, a little bit of a scheme. I discovered that our tongue pipe has a more shallow bend than I had originally thought. I thought it was just a kink right at the end, but it's not. It's actually shallow bend the whole way. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate it over 90 degrees, and now it's actually an arc. Instead of curving left and right, it's got an arc, and the way I see it is that actually makes it stronger. So, and then we'll still chop a couple inches off the front of it just to get rid of the actual bad bends, and then we'll be good to go. So this is our tongue pipe. We're going to cut about 1 foot and 4 inches off is my guess. That gets rid of all the really bent areas, and that gives us just enough room to not have to replace our registration sticker. Well, we have now officially shortened the tongue 1 foot plus inches. We've rotated the tongue 90 degrees. Dad, will you give me a pivoting example, please? Wow, look at that. That's a pivot if I've ever seen one. Impressive. And now we're going to bolt the tongue back on, or the
Want to see another pivot?
hitch. Very, very good. Very good. And then I think we'll go back to doing the frame that we started doing and never finished. So I've got our tongue reassembled, safety chains with a grade 8, nice and tight. I guess there's no brake fluid in these hoses, so I assume the brakes weren't working, but we'll hook that up later. Then we'll kind of just re-secure the electrical, and then the tongue's done, but I'm gonna worry about all that later. And now we're gonna go back to the back half and we're gonna keep working on the frame for it. So again, Dad and I were kind of troubleshooting, and we've decided we're gonna do those horizontal pieces that are gonna support the boards. We're gonna do those 16 inches on center. And we think that those are strong enough. They'll probably be strong enough. So we're gonna cut up a whole bunch of these 6 foot, 1 by 1 inch 16 gauge, and we're gonna probably tack weld those in horizontally. Then we'll make sure our boards still fit and everything. And we've got them all cut 6 foot, basically, you know, give or take a 1/4 inch, because him, no.
He cut it.
And we did also put a 1 by 2 11 gauge in the center here to add, again, a little extra support. So we think we have the panels all in the right spot, basically. We decided to just continue doing the 16 inches on center like we originally planned. Now we're to the point where we have all these cross beams tack welded on, super sturdy. I mean, a little bit of flex, but they're barely even welded at this point, so super awesome. Next, the plan is to cut our deck boards to length and just kind of make those work, because I don't have a wood saw, so I'm stealing Dad's. And then we'll just weld them solid and put the boards on another day.
Same thing over and over.
Yeah, do you want to slide it across? We've got all the deck boards trimmed to size. Giving it another test jump. Keep in mind the steel frame's not secured to the trailer, but Dad doesn't care. He's just reckless. Reckless.
As long as I don't go too far to the back and tip it.
Now we're doing the angled supports up in the front. So we're at the front of the trailer, and I cut 2 pipes at 16 inches and then cut about a 45-degree angle on them. And I'm gonna weld those diagonally like this. Boards are gonna sit here, so I've just gotta make sure that's flush. And line up the mark on the trailer, and it should be good. I'm still not welding anything to the trailer yet. I'm just welding topside stuff, so I'll have to just get it as straight as I can, and I'll finish welding it later. There's one. And there's 2. Now, even with just these little tack welds just on the outer edge and nothing there, I already would bet that this makes it stronger, and it does. Day number 2, I've got just about all of the real structure to the perimeter frame welded together solid. And now what we're doing is, just for kind of a nice touch, we're gonna cut these diagonally at a 45 across and put a nice flat plate there. So that'll just keep this corner from looking so sharp. You know, I think it'll look nice. That's why, you know, I don't need to explain myself. It's going to look nice. And then, since geometry sucks, this won't be quite long enough to reach the corner, so I'll just have to put a little plate in there. But a little plate's better than a full-size plate, I would say. Sending the girlfriend to Ace to get some more D-rings. I bought 16. I figured that would be enough, but now I'm going excessive. So I'm doing a D-ring approximately every 24 inches along the side, and then along the front. Moving this one over, and there'll be one more here. So there'll be 2 in the front. It's very important that I put enough tie-down points, because there's not going to be anywhere to be able to hook a ratchet strap to, because this is round tubing, it's not C-channel, and then the deck boards are going to be over top of these. So there's basically going to be no good area to hook a ratchet strap other than 2 of these D-rings. So they're very important on this project. I'll weld the inside of these 2 holes directly down, and that's going to hold that super solid. And then I'll probably come back around and weld them a little more firm, but so here we have the trailer deck now. So right now the deck is still loose from the trailer. So it's time to weld it on, and then I'm gonna finish painting. So far things are going really good. It feels so strong. I'm really optimistic about how this is gonna turn out. If it doesn't turn out, you won't be seeing this video, so probably all right. But I'm gonna start welding. I'm not gonna go overkill on the welding. I don't think it's necessary. So you'll see. So I welded what I was going to from my perimeter frame to the boat trailer frame. That's done. And then I had my neighbor who does metal fab. He helped me design this whole scheme, and he gave me the stamp of approval on it, the thumbs up, the go ahead. So now I'm gonna finish painting over my fresh welds, touch up any white spots that aren't looking very white, and then tomorrow after work, it's getting deck boards. Hopefully this is the last day of the build. Deck boards are going on, and then we're done. I started off by putting on this cut deck board, so this one is just a little bit more narrow than a regular one. It's what I had to do to be able to fit the rest of the boards. And I put a little chamfer on it, kind of so it matched the best I could. I mean, it's a self-tapping machine screw with a Phillips head. Came with a Phillips bit, which is working really good so far because it's a nice tight fit in there. All right, so here we still only have the one edge board that's screwed down. The rest of them are just kind of laying here. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do that far corner, and I think I'm going to work my way to the center. Kind of what I want to be able to do is do that side, and then I'll run like a string past it. That way I know where my screws are going. Hi, Kevin. Well, we got most of the screws in, and Kevin says, I hope you don't have to take out some of these. So I want to try out the tilt function is one thing I want to do. Get like a lever. So we've got the trailer all done up other than the paint that I missed. And we're gonna load up the toolbox. It's a good first trial run. 3, 2, 1. That's way too solid. Take an arm out.
Yeah, this isn't as sketchy as it should be.
Ready? John's not gonna watch this video anyway.
Alright, we're good. That's the hacks that I'm talking about.
Alright, 3, 2, 1. You can record it falling off the trailer. Back in action pro tip. If the strap hook doesn't fit through whatever you're doing, you can just undo the strap from the ratchet. And then there's no way it doesn't fit. I don't know, I was a weak ending, but you get the point. Hook me. And we'll do the same with the back.
Test number 2.
Can I say it? Can I say it? That ain't going nowhere. Big ass.